kizungumkuti. A very good afternoon. Thank you so much for choosing Younib TV. This is Younib TV at 1. Go with me. My name is Hezron Asewe. President William Ruto has announced that Kilifi County will host over 200 industries in the Vipingo Free Trade Zone by next year. The Kilifi County International Investment Conference, Ruto stated that the construction will begin in early 2025. The expanded zone will prioritize sectors such as agro-processing, manufacturing, logistics, green energy, and pharmaceuticals. Take this news.
To showcase Kilifi County as a premier investment destination, today we have issued the approval letter to Vipingo Special Economic Zone.
In furtherance of your policy, we've made an application for part of this land to be a special economic zone, and hopefully soon the same will be granted so that we can catalyze even more investment in this particular region.
Through modernized infrastructure, thriving export processing zones, and special economic zones, we are demonstrating the power of devolution to deliver real, tangible, and transformative outcome.
But today we're very pleased to launch our next effort in enabling youth to get the training and the jobs that they need.
Efforts to modernize port infrastructure are bearing fruit. Lamu Port, now fully operational, handled 27,000 metric tons of cargo from 36 vessels in 2023. Reduced tariffs and extended free storage periods have further enhanced its appeal, driving growth and opening new trade corridors. Instead of subdividing the 3,000 acres into little plots that would have not as much meaning, they have decided to consolidate that 3,000 acres into a special economic zone that will see greater investment in Kaloleni and in Kilifi County. Beyond industrial growth, the national government is committed to revitalizing the tourism sector, both in the coastal region and across the country.
Thank you so much for keeping it Younib TV. Let's go forward. And Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, KUCO, has threatened to withdraw their services come the 23rd of this month following the rollout of social health insurance, which they claim is discriminatory. Protesting outside the Ministry of Health building, they say officers have been blocked out from offering services under the new health insurance model. They have further accused them of being corrupt, calling for the disbursement of the SHA board. Take a look.
Under NHIF, the clinic officers were allowed to register their facilities. But when Dr. Abdi and his team sat illegally against the SHA Act, against the Health Act, against the Clinic Officers Act, they decided they are not going to empanel and contract facilities by clinic officers. And this means that more than 6 million Kenyans cannot be able to access health services. Dr. Abdi Mohammed and his team must go home.
Hiyo board iko na the highest ranked medical personnel ambaye ni Director General. Hata yeye ameungana mkono kuvunja sheria. Kwa hivyo hatoshi kukaa katika hiyo office.
98% of the ophthalmology and cataract surgeries are done by clinic officers. Majority of the ENT procedures are done by clinic officers. Most of the oncology services are done by clinic officers. For them to deliver that quality service, they must pre-authorize diagnostics, they must pre-authorize procedures.
And you know what we have been paid? We have been paid nothing for the 4 months. The ministry, which is full of PR, on Saturday the CS made a press conference saying she deposited and she has paid the interns in full. We want to tell you, you media houses, that that's not true.
Now Mutua reduced to 70,000, which was a stipend. Up to now, as we talk today, others have received that money, but like personal, it's like 33,000 in a month, which is wrong because we agreed to 70,000.
Have been in the field without pay, and right now, the court has given us 90 days to have a conversation with them. And secondly, His Excellency the President set up a task force to look into all the issues regarding the interns. It is important to note that the government is committed. This week, we have released the intern stipend as set by the SRC. The court has directed that we are given 90 days to discuss whether to pay 206 or to pay 70.
All right, let us proceed. And Police Inspector General Douglas Kanja has encouraged everyone to stay alert and quickly respond and any suspicious activities or crimes to their local police stations or via designated hotlines. This statement follows the government's recent announcement about the launch of nationwide multi-agency command center and the deployment of over 100,000 security personnel nationwide to enhance safety and maintain order during this festive season. Take a look at this story.
These are not just statistics, but human lives which have been adversely affected as a result of road carnage. And in this regard, we are appealing to all motorists to approach the festive season with a changed behavior, with a common purpose to reduce road carnage. We have deployed additional traffic police officers on the roads to ensure free flow of traffic. Through the multi-agency strategy, we are also collaborating with the National Transport and Safety Authority to conduct crackdowns at the road safety compliance checks on the major highways, and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to prevent corruption on the roads this festive season. We call upon the general public to remain vigilant even as you celebrate and report any crime or suspicious activities to the nearest police station or through the police hotline numbers.
All right, thank you so much. Let us now go to the courts, whereby the High Court in Eldoret has found freelance photographer Jackton Odhiambo, alias Liza, guilty of murdering LGBTQ activist Edwin Kipto Chiloba in Eldoret. Justice Ruben Nyakundi said prosecutions provided in case against the suspect, who will now be sentenced on December 16th. Nyakundi ruled that specific direct and witness evidence linked accused the murder.
This court arrives at the inescapable conclusion that the accused Jackson Odhiambo, alias Lisa, is guilty of murder under Section 203 as punished under 204 of the Penal Code, and the same was committed with the malice aforethought. And not only the malice aforethought, but the one premeditated. I find you guilty of the offense and convict you according to the law. The government chemist report, the forensic scientific evidence, the DNA profile showed that before the deceased died, you are committed a sexual act against nature according to our laws. And the DNA profile showed clearly that beyond any reasonable doubt that you were the last person seen to be with the deceased. Which situation? At the Tamasha. Which situation? Walking at the staircase to your apartment. which circumstances then place you at the scene of the crime, the DNA profile.
Now matters education. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba has defended the government's decision to convert 348 boarding schools to day school. Appearing before the Senate's Education Committee, the CS said boarding status for the affected schools would only be restored when they comply with the government's regulations. The Ministry of Education is expected to conduct second round of assessment of dormitory safety in all schools come next year, 2025. Take a look.
Particular individual school has a report of the discrepancy or the failures to meet the quality safety standard. So those ones who have already completed, they are being reopened. So, but there are others who, for example, had opened boarding sections without registration. They opened on their own. There is a school, they've opened, they're running a boarding section, and our teams are seeing that for the first time when they went to inspect because they never applied for it. You see, so those ones had also to be now reassessed to confirm that they meet the standard. The schools that whose boarding sections were closed, there is a safety manual that each boarding school is supposed to adhere to, and this is the manual that was used to audit whether they met the requirements, and those ones that did not meet were the ones that were informed individually by report that if you do not rectify, you will not open in January as a boarding, you will continue running as a day school because of the circumstances that we find ourselves in this ministry.
And some of them are complaining that they were just told to do one or two things. And the ministry never got back to them to see to it whether to confirm whether they had done that, whatever they were supposed to do or not. In fact, some of them are saying that nobody even communicated to them.
I am aware that some of the schools had maybe one or two or three issues that needed to be done, and some of them have rushed and they've done. And once they have done, they request our county quality assurance officers to revisit and give them clearance. What is critical is for us to know that our officers did not close any school on the boarding side that met the requirements. So the issues that have arisen are issues that have arisen post the audit.
Thank you so much for watching Younib TV. Let us proceed. Parliament has adjourned its regular sittings for the season ahead of its long resource beginning in the 6th of December on February. The Parliament will resume on February 11th, 2025. Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheruyot held the Senate's commitment in concluding crucial bills such as coffee, tea, and sugar bills, which will greatly benefit from the farmers at the counties, as well as elections amendment bills. Take a look at this story.
We have debated, Madam Speaker, handled matters of grave national importance with such decorum and admiration that made many citizens appreciate the wisdom that brings together this House. Madam Speaker, we have considered so many bills that are people-centric, institution-sensitive, Madam Speaker, like the bill to give autonomy to county assemblies, which is now before the National Assembly. We've handled the tea amendment bill, coffee, sugar bill, Mr. Speaker, for our farmers. Madam Speaker, there is just so much that we've done that today, as I retire to bed, I retire a very proud majority leader.
If we don't deal with this issue of pending bills, we're just going to be wasting our time. We're going to be digging a bigger hole and a bigger hole. The Controller of Budget has made her statement that there are certain counties that have been rated high in terms of the development absorption. But if you go to those counties, and we sit in Public Accounts Committee and PIC Committee, you will realize that the amount of pending bills is serious, and it is something which will bring this country into a halt. People have killed themselves. Let us make it a priority in the next coming session that we follow the implementation. And this is why, Madam Speaker, I keep insisting that we need an implementation committee to be able to follow through.
President William Ruto has made it clear that he will not tolerate any corruption in the management of SHA during his tenure. He emphasized that corruption will become a thing of the past as a procurement process for equipment and drugs is thoroughly vetted by experts. The president also addressed claims from individuals who alleged they were forced to sign contracts for the procurement process, labeling them as false and insisting there was no concern for, insisting that there was no coercion involved.
The challenges of fraud and corruption that had bedeviled the NHIF, they will never be, as long as I am in charge, they will never be in our universal health coverage plan. Nobody was forced. And nobody, you have to be a fool to be forced to sign the wrong thing, and you actually sign. You know, and you go and announce that I was forced. We have costed the equipments, we have costed the drugs, we have costed the services with experts. The procurement of any equipment, the one that I see people talking about in the media, there was a procurement process. It was carried out between the counties and the national and the Ministry of Health. There is no obligation on any county to get any equipment from any supplier.
All right, thank you so much for watching Younib TV at 1. And also thank you so much, Elias Mushina, for being on the camera together with everybody who brought their hands together to ensure that this live is successful. My name is Hezron Asewe from Younib TV at 1. See you next time.